We're here today to understand what is the best and easiest way to learn Russian at home. Now, with all these new technologies, with YouTube, with a lot of websites devoted to Russian language, the task is easier. You can be connected to the world. You can study yourself, but you can also join some conversations. There are so many groups in any social media. You can find such groups, groups of people who are ready to teach each other languages. If you know Spanish language and you want to change it into Russian language, you will find the Russian counterpart, and somebody will teach you Russian, and you will teach this person Spanish, English Russian, French Russian. You can always find a person who wants to learn your native language, and that's really helpful. Now, I will share with you my screen, and we will start the presentation. If you have questions, you can type these questions in the chat, and I will answer them at the end of our meeting. So let's start. And where's my screen to show to you? Okay, let me share with you the screen. Here it is, but you don't see it yet. Be patient. Okay, so I don't see it. Let me do differently. Up. Give me 1 minute. Yes, now we're here. So everything works. And I will make this window a little bit bigger so you can see me like this. Okay, and the topic. The topic of our conversation today is how to learn Russian language at home. I'm teaching Russian for quite a long time, and I live in Cyprus, where English language is quite popular. So I'm teaching Russian language to those who speak English and Greek. And with 20 years of living in Cyprus, I became a kind of cross-cultural expert. So I know how to learn Russian when you don't have time. And most of us, we don't have time now. And I want to share with you some tips and some advice how to do it. I will send you also this presentation by email, so you will have all the links, including the link to my Russian language. And what I want to say to you, the most important thing I want to share and to help you to do is to work smarter, not harder. So to learn Russian language with pleasure. We will answer today few most important questions. Few questions that are really valuable for those who start learning Russian language. Why Russian language is considered difficult? We need this to know practically, because if we understand why, we can overtake these difficulties. What does a beginner need to know about Russian language and about Russian grammar and about Russian vocabulary? How to pronounce most difficult Russian sounds. I will try to pronounce them for you, and you can repeat after me. Where do you find free Russian movies? We will have the sources. What movies should you watch from the very beginning when you just start learning Russian language? And how many words do you need to know to start speaking Russian? What words and what grammar rules you need to learn first at the beginning, and how you can memorize these new words. And last but not least, I will share with you some resources where you can learn Russian language free of charge using the websites or applications that exist in the web. So, why the Russian language is considered difficult? Reason number one, too many letters. There's 33. And these letters, they are imported from Latin, only 7 letters. From Greek, only 9 letters. And 15 letters, they are originally Russian. So you are not going to meet them in other Latin alphabet or Cyrillic alphabet. So you need to learn all these 33 letters, but 2 of them don't have sounds. You may not know that 2 of them, твердый знак, мягкий знак, hard sign, soft sign. We write them, but we do not pronounce them. Hard sign helps to make letter before the sign harder, and soft sign, мягкий знак, makes the letter softer. This is a difference. So, letters. A, B, V, G, D. That's how they read. They are read when you read the alphabet. But every letter has sound. And the difficulty is that sound is different. A, B, V, G, D, and so on. So that is considered first difficult. But for anyone who starts Russian language, after 1 month of study, this is not problem anymore. You will pass this difficulty with pleasure and with ease. The second difficulty is tonic accent. So Russian words, they have stress, tone. But unlike French, for example, where the tone is predicted, in French language, every word has a tone on the last syllable. In Russian language, every word has its own tone, and there is no grammar rule or there is no strategy and any policy where you can recognize where to put this stress, this tone on the word. So when you are learning Russian words, you need to learn them together with memorizing the stress, and this is considered difficult. The declension. Declension changed the end of adjectives, of nouns. And because we have singular and plural, it means that almost every Russian noun has 12 different forms. So when a foreigner starts learning Russian language by taking a grammar book, they usually give up, because if you read Russian grammar, you will say that you will never remember it. I can also share with you that Russian children for whom Russian language is a native language, they go to school, they have 11 grades in the school, and all these 11 years, they study Russian grammar and they still make mistakes. So the first advice I would like to give to you and to anyone who decided to learn Russian language is not to start with grammar, ignore it at the beginning, and not to be afraid to make mistakes, because even Russian language, for whom Russian people for whom Russian language is native language, they still make mistakes. Don't be afraid. And the last difficulty is number of words. Russian language is very rich language, one of the richest in the world. If we have, let's say, top 10 richest language, Russian will be somewhere number 5. So it has 350,000 words, comparing to English, which is half less, or Spanish, which is 3 times less. Of course, a foreigner, when he or she starts Russian language and understands that one word, for example, word go, the verb to go, I go, you go, he goes, in Russian has at least 100 different words. So the verb go can be translated into Russian 100 different times, options, variations. This is scary. Just accept it. That happens. And this makes Russian language one of the most difficult languages in the world, but still possible. Look at the numbers. 258 million of people in the world speak Russian language, but only 153 million of them, they are native speakers. What does it mean? It means that remaining 100 million, they still somehow learn the language. And today we will try to understand how to learn Russian language faster, with easier, and with better results. So let's make a small break, educational break, and pronounce most difficult Russian sounds. Any language has sound E. Any language you choose, French, English, Spanish, German, there is a letter E and there is a sound E. In Russian, there are 2 types of the sound, E and U. You see it here, E, U. U is different. Try to pronounce after me, E, U. These are 2 different letters. These are 2 different sounds, and they change meaning of words, so you need to distinguish them, E, U. 2 letters, sh, sh, They are written in a similar way, but they pronounce differently. Sh, sh. And in general, there are too many letters like this and too many sounds where you need to use the voice. Sh, sh, without, how to say, you just breathing it out. Sh, sh. And you see the last line in my slide, on my slide today, is this type of letters. F, h, sh, sh, sh. Because of these sounds, which do not exist in other languages, the pronunciation might seem a little bit. But let's come back to the line number 3. Some sounds are z, and some sounds are like s. So some are very loud, z, s, but they're similar, z, s. So look at this pair. This is difficult when you pronounce the words. You need to remember to pronounce some sounds like z, very positive, very loud, and some like s. D, t, ye, yo. They are almost the same. Look, there are only 2 dots on the top, but the letter is different and the sound is different. Ye, yo. И краткая. This one, in the alphabet, we read it И краткая, but sounds Y. For example, the word чай will be written with this letter. So if you see Russian letter E with this small thing on top, a kind of head, so you know that it's Y, Y, and the difference E, Y. So let's pronounce all these sounds that we have on the page and go on. И, И, Ш, Щ, З, С, Д, Т, Е, Ё, И краткая, Ф, Х, Ч, Ш, Щ. Of course, during one introduction lecture, I cannot teach you Russian, and I'm not going to even try. What we looked at the difficulties, and let's see what the beginner needs to know about Russian grammar. First, I told already to you, do not start from theory. Second, you will learn phrases. I recommend you to learn phrases instead of rules, because by phrases, you will remember and then you can change words. For example, let me teach you one phrase. I love, I don't know what so, I love bananas. Я люблю бананы. You remember this phrase, я люблю, I love, and then you can change ending. Я люблю бананы. Я люблю кокосы. Coconuts. I love coconuts. Я люблю яблоки. I love apples. So you just take one word, you put another. Instead of remembering that the verb любить, which is infinitive, will be finishing by you when you speak about yourself. Я люблю. And when you will speak about the second person, ты любишь will be another ending. And then it will be the third ending when you will say он любит. Instead of having all this in your head, just learn one phrase. Я люблю. You learn a lot of options of this phrase. You train yourself. You make a list of sentences. Я люблю this. Я люблю that. Я люблю whatever you can love. Remember the sentence and use it. Don't go into grammar. Go into phrases and sentences. Flashcards. Flashcards can be used in old-fashioned way and new-fashioned way. Let me start with new-fashion. New-fashion is to download into your phone any application that will help you to learn the words. And then this application every morning will remind you what words to learn, how to learn them, and so on. It is really helpful, and I will give you some links for such applications. There are too many, and with them you can learn many words. But I recommend you the old-fashioned way. The old-fashioned way is to take a piece of paper And by handwriting, from one side to write a Russian word, from another side to write the same word in your native language. You can learn about 10 words a day. That is a normal speed of learning Russian language. So if you have 10 flashcards a day, you read the Russian words. If you don't remember the translation, you look here and you read them several times. They work better because you can touch them, because you were writing these words. So you have this memory, writing memory, and we will speak about memory a little bit later. So the flashcards, old-fashioned way, they look 2-3 times better than our phones or these modern programs. So my suggestion, use flashcards and old-fashioned way. So don't try to remember all the forms of Russian words. They will come. Give to yourself a few months, half a year, and slowly, slowly, by using Russian language in different situations, you will remember the endings of Russian nouns and adjectives. Regarding the tenses, of course, in Russian language, there are not only tenses, there are forms of the verbs depending on what you want to say. If this action is long, it's happening now. If it happened one time, if it was happening every day, the verbs will be different. The forms will be different. And at the very beginning, I suggest you not to look at all forms of the verbs. Learn only 3: present, simple past, when a person did it one time, and simple future, when you will do it. Like in English, the future in Russian will have one extra word. Like you say, I read, я читаю, I read yesterday, я читал, I will read. In Russian, it will be я буду читать. So if you know English language, this structure of the future form will be easily understood by you, and you will use it. And the word читать, to read, will be changed. Change it with write, change it with hear, change it with anything, drink, eat. Я буду, I will, and then infinitive of the verb you need. It's more than enough for the first half a year of your educational process. So don't go deep into the grammar. And the last one, don't bother with prefixes, suffixes. There are a lot of them in Russian language. Just learn the words like you find them in the dictionary. How many words you need to learn to start speaking Russian? What words, what grammar rules you need to learn first? And how can you memorize many words? Let's look at the memory. How the memory works. It's important to understand. You may know that we have 3 types of working memory: sensory memory, short-term memory, long-term memory. So we need all 3 types when we learn foreign languages. A sensory memory, when you get information by touching something, by hearing the words, by looking at something, that is sensory memory. You remember because you heard. You remember because you touched. If it's hot, the teapot is hot. You're not going to touch it again. You will remember it is hot. It's sensory memory. Short-term memory. Short-term memory is only for 15 to 30 seconds. I will tell you any word in Russian, like, I don't know, ручка. And you will remember it 15 seconds. If you're not going to start to repeat this word ручка, 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 you will remember just 15, 30 seconds, you will forget. This is short-term memory. But your task when you learn foreign language is to move these words, these new words that you are going to learn, into the long-term memory. The question is how? Short-term memory. You heard, you keep it 15, 30 seconds. There is a limited storage. You cannot have more than 5 to 9 items at the same time, you forget. In long-term memory, you will structure the information. You will put it in different shelves according to the meaning. You will remember this information And for a very long time, actually, it's unlimited. And you have unlimited storage. It's proven now that our brain uh, doesn't use all the capacity, so you can remember much more things. You can remember anything which happened with you during your life. The question is how to retrieve these memories. The scientists don't know the answer, but believe me, you can remember anything. How to put from the short-term memory to a long-term memory? Only by paying attention. This is a model of memory. How to turn to long-term memory. You have a signal. You heard one Russian word, "здравствуйте" or "привет," which means hello, both of them. You heard it. If you paid attention and then you repeat, maybe aloud, maybe just inside of your brain, you will repeat, "здравствуйте," what does it mean? What does it mean? You paid attention even if you don't know the translation. You are moving slowly, slowly towards long-term memory. You will remember this word even if you don't know translation. So paying attention on something, it's already half of your victory. If you want to remember something, you need to pay attention. And then only repetition, repeating the words, only repetition can help you to remember these words better. This is a model which was offered almost 100 years ago in 1968 by Atkinson and Shiffrin. So they explained to us how we remember things. We have this sensory register. So we heard something, we saw something, we said something, and then it's in a short-term memory for 15 seconds. You need to start rehearsal. Repeat, repeat, repeat. If you don't do it in 15 seconds, in 30 seconds, you forgot. If you're repeating, it goes to long-term memory, but how long it will stay there? It depends only on you. So I will explain to you how to retain your new Russian words in your memory as long as possible, ideally forever. Let's look. In 1885, there was a first experiment when they were saying to people words with no meaning, words that these people didn't hear before, and they were asking them to try to remember these words. So people with experiments, they paid attention. They were said 10 words which meant nothing for them, and they pay attention to these words, and they were trying and trying and trying to remember them. What would happen? In 1 minute, they could remember only half of these words. In 7 minutes, only 2 of 10 words were remembered. What it means that even if you pay attention to something, you will lose the information. And in 7 minutes time, you will remember only 21% of everything you just learned, of everything you just heard. This is called forgetting curve. And new scientific research has just proved that in 1885, people were right. And that's what's happening with our brain when we learn new words. So in order to remember this new word, what do we need to do? They found out that we need to increase intervals. So you created your memory flashcard and you wrote, let me write something for you here, the word stall. Stall is a table. You wrote it. And at the back of this card, you wrote an English word for this. So you read it, stall table. Stall table, you remember. Put this card aside, and in 10 minutes, take it again, read it. Stall, table, stall. Put it aside. The next time, you need to repeat in half an hour. So if you follow my advice, and if every day you make only 10 cards like this, with 10 words that you really need in your daily life, the words are also important. If you have Russian friends, write here the word "привет" or "hello", "здравствуйте", the word "спасибо", "пожалуйста", because these are the words you can use. You can use immediately after learning them, right? So when you're choosing what words to learn, try to imagine what words you can use right now, today, tomorrow, next week, and learn only these words. So You have your words. In half an hour, you read it, and just throw this card somewhere for half a day. Forget about it. So you need to increase intervals. My suggestion, 5 minutes, half an hour, half a day, 1 day. And then forget about this card for 3, 4 days and take it and look at it in 3 days' time. I'm sure that you will remember at least half of your cards. But okay, you read again, stall, table, and forget about this card for half a month and take it again in half a month's time. So if you will use this strategy, you will learn the words not for 1 day, not for 1 week. You will remember these words for a long time because you will put them in the long-term memory and you will retrieve these words. You will take them from the memory from time to time. And more times you repeat, more interval, more how long is the interval, bigger the interval, better is the memory. So when to repeat, I will explain to you now when we need to repeat these words, how to plan your intervals, why it's important to learn words immediately after you wake up and before you go to sleep, and how to prepare your own memorizing cards. Let's follow. So we know already that there are different senses how we have information. By touch, by touching something, it's cold or hot, it's soft or hard. By smelling, you can have difference. You can smell strawberry and you will smell a chocolate and you will feel the difference between this. So your brain can recognize it. You can use it when you learn Russian language. When you're learning the word soft, touch something that is soft. Your brain will register that the word мягкий, soft, мягкий, is associated with this nice and soft pillow. Мягкий, мягкая подушка, soft pillow. So it will be easier for you to remember this. And when you will need to say the word мягкий, the word soft, you will remember it easier. When you're smelling, use this. When you are learning the word strawberry, smell the strawberry. When you're learning the word chocolate, smell the chocolate. It's so easy. When you have your dinner, for example, and you don't know how to say this word apple, for example, apple in Russian. Okay, open your dictionary, look how this apple is said. And now you can use not only paper dictionaries, you can use online dictionaries. And there is a small button with the microphone or with the speaker. Press on the button and you will hear this word. So you sit at breakfast and you pour for you a cup of coffee. Okay, and you don't know how to say coffee in Russian. Fine. Just find it in, I don't know, YouTube or anywhere else and press this button and they will pronounce for you coffee. It's easy actually, coffee, chai. As they will pronounce how to pronounce it, and you smell this coffee, and you will remember this word better than anything else, right? So you need to use all senses, hearing, taste, eyesight. Now, to remember the word, you need to write it down, you need to speak it aloud, and you need to practice. This is also a very important element of your self-studying. Today we're speaking only about self-studying. I will give you many other advice if you would have a teacher in front of you, but we're speaking about self-study. We think that you teach yourself. This is a memory table, sensory memory, short-term memory, long-term memory. Now you know that rehearsal is a key, and now you know how many times you need to repeat. You need to repeat the words aloud. You need to divide information into chunks, so it's easier to learn 3 or 4 words that mean fruits together. So you decide that today my 10 words will be 10 fruits, and tomorrow my 10 words will be 10 pieces of clothes. So this way you structure the words, and on the shelves in your brain, there will be also structures. You need to make associations. That's what I explained to you now. Smell, touch, try to see similar words. For example, the word restaurant in Russian and in English will be the same. So they're similar. So you learn restaurant, restaurant, hotel, hotel, hotel. So they are very similar, and you make association between English and Russian, or between your native language and Russian. And of course, you need to make notes. When we are writing by hand, not typing, typing doesn't work. When we are writing by hand, our memory works better. How to learn 300 to 800 words? And why 300 to 800? The question is following. What words I need to learn, and how many of them I need to learn before I will be able to express myself in Russian language? The answer. When we speak native language, your native language, my native language, with our family members during the day, in usual conversations, we do not use more than 800 words. So if you will manage to learn 800 Russian words, you will be able to maintain simple conversation in your daily routine. The difficulty is how to choose what words you need. What words to write down as these 800 words? You need to decide yourself. There are a lot of lists. Actually, I give to my students, I have this course, intensive course, Russian in 1 month. So during 1 month, we learn 10 words a day, so 300 words. I made my research. I found out what words we need to know, but I live in Cyprus. So my research was based on the profile of my students. My students are business people. Most of them, they live in Cyprus. Most of them, they learn Russian language because they need to speak to their clients, and not professionally. Everyone has a translator in the office or secretary who speaks Russian. My students are business people who just need to melt the ice. So, for example, they take Russian client for lunch, and they need to say "вкусно," tasty. This word tasty. To ask the person, вкусно? Что вы хотите? What do you want? What do you want to eat? Мясо, рыба, meat, fish. So they need to use these words not because there is no translator next to them, interpreter. They take interpreters with them, but because they want to show to their client that they care, that they cared to learn some words, that they care to know how to say спасибо, пожалуйста, thank you, and please, you're welcome. So it's everything. It's about taking care of the client and making the communication with this client on a more friendly level. So with 300 words, it's already possible. You need to choose what 300 words you need for your conversations, what words you need for your communication, why you learn Russian language. So how will you manage to remember so many words? Let's say you need to remember 300 words. You will have a plan. I suggest you follow it. As soon as you wake up in the morning, you take your 10 words and you read them. But you need to do it at that single moment when you woke up and you just open your eyes. So the first thing you need to see, the Russian words. Why? Because at that moment, it's only 1, 2, 3 minutes between sleep and daytime work of our brain. The brain can consume a lot more information, can digest a lot more information than usually during the day. So that precious moment, 2, 3 minutes after you woke up, you can learn the words without any difficulties. So 10 words easily. Then you will do the same last thing before you go to sleep. Why? It's the same reason. When you feel sleepy, when you feel that, okay, I cannot anymore, I need to sleep right here, right now, the last thing you need to see, the words, read them, and go to sleep. You will remember them. Then, repetition. You need to repeat new words. Every day, if you decide to learn Russian yourself, you need to organize yourself to find for you 10 new words. What are the words of today? You write them on a piece of paper or in a copybook, where you want. You write them, you see translation, you repeat them loud, and then make breaks. 10 minutes, 1 hour, half a day, 1 day. So make these breaks longer to remember the words. You have to hear your new words on audio. You have to watch some news, some movies. I recommend movies. That's the news. And try to recognize your new words there. If you start with simple words like здравствуйте, спасибо, до свидания, доброе утро, good morning, добрый вечер, you can hear it in any movie, almost any movie, any Russian movie you will watch. You need to recognize these words. Teach yourself to recognize these words in the movies. You need to write these words. You remember that memory works when you're writing. So if you write the word stall, which is table, 10 times, there are 10 times more chances you will remember this. You need to say it aloud as many times as you can. You need to read examples. You need to find in your books, in the dictionary, examples when people use this table. For example, это красивый стол. This is a beautiful table. Or in my case, it's a brown table here. Это коричневый стол. So you need to have examples. And you need to use this in speech. You need to say aloud these examples. You found examples, find 10 examples. And you read these examples. So you will read them and the words will be remembered. And the last one is exercise. I will give you a lot of links for online exercises. So you can use these words in exercises, remembering, repeating. You need to read Russian. Teach yourself to read Russian. It's important. You can read words in the dictionary. That is a practical use. But while reading Russian, you also train your brain to recognize the words and remember the words. While reading Russian, you exercise. When you go to gym and you train your muscles, you train them and the muscles become bigger. The same applies to your mouth. Now the muscles in your mouth, they didn't get used to speak foreign language, Russian. Your mouth cannot pronounce these words correctly. You need to speak and to say all the words aloud, aloud, aloud every time to train different muscles which are not used when you speak your native language. It's important. So now, at the last 5 minutes of our lecture, I promised you 45 minutes. I will keep our timing. I will share with you some links that are really precious and you can use them while learning Russian language yourself. First link is a state institute. It's called Pushkin Institute. You know Pushkin, Russian poet. So this site, you will press the link. I'm going to send you this presentation. You press this link and you come exactly on this page. It's the way to test your level now. If you know no words, if you didn't study Russian before, you don't need to test the level. You just start with A1. You start with the beginning. If you know some Russian words, if you tried to learn Russian before, whatever, test yourself on this website. Find out what level it is. And this website has a lot of free courses of Russian language. So after you pass the test, you will see what course you need to take. Another website, Российский университет дружбы народов, Russian University of Friendship. Friendship University is one of the strongest universities in the country. They offer a free course of Russian language, which is for 92 academic hours, 92 hours, even 1 hour a day. It will be enough for 3 months. So this free course will make you busy for 3 months and will give you good results. And the good news is that this course is free. So pressing the link you have here on the screen, you will follow the link, you will go to that course, and you will learn Russian for 3 months without paying to any teacher. This one is one of the best websites for self-education that I've seen in the web. It was developed by Russia Today. you know the channel, Russia Today. So they decided to offer to the world a free course of Russian language. So you have different lessons, you have alphabet, phonetics, vocabulary, different tests, different grammar tables. So I highly recommend, if you learn Russian language, to use this website and one by one to pass their lessons. Now, movies. I know that you heard from different sources how important it is to watch movies, right? It is important, extremely important. And I will share with you links where you can take free movies, free Russian movies, so you can watch them as many times as possible, as many movies as possible. So in internet, there are libraries of movies like this one, Megogo. So you have a link, you press this link, you will come to this page. Look, here at the bottom, I put for you some Russian comedies or old movies, which I recommend to watch. When you are choosing the movies, I recommend to start watching from all Russian comedies, Soviet comedies, comedies that were um, uh, watched at the middle of last century. Why? Because they speak proper Russian. They pronounce words very well. If you will start watching today's series or today's movies, they have a lot of slang and they also do not pronounce words correctly. Uh, they have accents, they speak fast, you don't need it. So starting your movies in Russian language, start with old movies. One website is this one, another one is this one. There's so many websites, 100 maybe, websites which are libraries of movies. Look here, uh, in red, it means you need to pay, not much, 1, 2 euros. But in this color, in violet color, is the movies which are free. And there are so many comedies, fantastic science fiction movies, melodramas, thrillers, adventures. There are so many thousands, without exaggeration, thousands of movies and thousands of free movies for you. Okay, here on this website or on this website, film.ru, there are thousands of free movies that you can watch. Now we come to YouTube. In YouTube, we have this Mosfilm cinema concert. A Mosfilm is a film studio, Soviet film studio. It has a long history. And there you will find more than 1,000 free movies. So you go to YouTube and you watch one movie a day. In YouTube, it's also good that you can put subtitles in English or in your native language. So the link is here. Mosfilm is a Russian studio. Another studio is a studio Gorky studio, Kinostudio Gorького. They have a lot of movies. Kinostudio Gorького was specialized on movies for children, and I recommend you to start your adventure watching Russian movies with children movies because they are very easy. So on this website, on this not the site, on this page in YouTube, you will find thousands of different movies, hundreds of them will be for children. Одесская киностудия, it's Odessa studio, so they have a lot of movies as well. You have a link here. And киностудия Belarus Film. It's from Belarus, but Soviet Union was one country, so these movies are in Russian language as well. They have many, many movies. So these are the links to YouTube. Also, in YouTube, you can find videos like this one. This video is just 20 minutes. But in these 20 minutes, we have most known songs from Russian movies. So you will watch movie and you will hear the song. And I'm sure that, for example, in this, following this link, you will hear within 20 minutes most popular Russian songs from movies. And when you have Russian friends, you can sing one of these songs and they will be very much impressed with you. Another link, which will give you the songs with big letters. So the words are also, the lyrics is written. So you can not only listen, but you can read Russian following this link. There are a lot of movies, I said to you, and some movies are with English subtitles. This is a good example. You press this link and you go to the famous movie. It's a comedy. You will love it. Иван Васильевич меняет профессию. That's the name of this movie. And you will have English subtitles, so it will facilitate your life. And this is an example of an old movie. This is one of the best Soviet movies. В бой идут одни старики. That is the name of this movie. And old movies is the best choice for you as a beginner to start with Russian language. Now, documentaries. Russia today has a very big library of different documentaries. And depending what you love ballet or you love nature, geography or history, you can always find a documentary which will be in Russian language with English subtitles, or to discover as a country, to discover a new country, to discover history. You may watch a movie in the English language with Russian subtitles. So what to watch at the very beginning? You know the answer now. Movies for children and all Soviet movies. Websites. This is a link for the website which is called A Russian for Everyone, with a lot of introduction lessons. They will explain to you about sounds, handwriting, keyboards, consonants, whatever, pronunciation. This is a good website. I highly recommend you to use it. This is a YouTube channel where they recorded the words, but they have the words thematically. For example, here they have insects. So you will press this video and you will learn together with them all words which are about insects. Here they have words with the face. So the word ear, eye, nose, mouth, you will learn together with them. So this page and this channel, YouTube channel, is good for you when you are learning new words, because this channel is thematic. And I told you that it's better to learn words by thematic, by theme, by 10 words of the same theme. And I like also this website. You will press this link. You will find a lot of video lessons. You will find pronunciation. You will find self-studying books and electronic media, videos, radio, dictionaries, a lot of things. You just press every link you will see here. And the last resource I want to show to you is this one: free Russian courses with audio, text and dialogues, Russian phrases with audio. This will help you to learn Russian language without teacher, by yourself. You have many links. Here you see the links for applications, for something you can download to your phone. And here you see the links for different websites. Of course, I will send these links to you by email in a Word file, and you can press every link. It's 95. These are 95 educational platforms that I can recommend to those who learn Russian language himself or herself. 95 platforms. What it means? If you find time once a day to explore just one platform, it will be enough for 3 months. If you like one of these platforms and you will continue with the lessons, it will be enough for you for 1 year. So now you are very well equipped. Within 45 minutes, you've got an idea about Russian language. And now by email, you will get a lot of links that will make you busy for the nearest 1 year. As for me, I'm teaching only intensive courses because I work with business people. So when and if you will decide that you need group lessons, I don't teach one-to-one, I teach only in group. And if you want to have very fast progress within 30 days to learn 300 words and to be able to speak Russian, having this small vocabulary of 300 words, join me. You have the link here on this page to the page which will explain to you about my course. So I want to say спасибо за внимание. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here with me. You gave me a chance to repeat what I know very well. But I hope that these 45 minutes were useful to you. And now You will have your tools for studying Russian language. You can always email me. You have my email address. Now you will receive the materials and you will have my email address. When you have questions, you can always email or ask this question or send me some additional comments. I wish you to have a nice evening and good luck, all the success in studying Russian.